Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Straight Fire Picks. Best bets for college football, Week 9, on Saturday, October 30th, 2021. My name is Steve, and we're going to have 3 picks here for you that I think are great value bets for the Saturday college football slate. As always, just want to thank you all for your continued support in the channel. If you are new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. We're trying to reach 800 subscribers here by the end of the week. Also, be sure to check out our community Discord page. It's a great place to connect with our community and to get new ideas for bets and just to chat about the games and stuff. It's really great in my opinion. It's a lot of fun. Highly encourage that. Be sure to also drop a pick down below in the comment section, your favorite pick for the Saturday college football slate. If you'd like it included in our comment capper section, just be sure to put a star or an asterisk next to it so I know that that's your official pick. We also have a live stream coming up on Monday Night Football. That'll be this Monday night starting at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So really looking forward to that. We'll have a watch party going with game audio there. It'll be a lot of fun. We always have a great time at those. Without further ado, let's get right into our results. So as far as our comment cappers, we had one call out there in the chat that hit. We had Arthur Shaw calling the over 40.5 points for Ohio State. Cash this one easily. Great call out there by Arthur. Ohio State put up over 50 there on Indiana. Absolutely unbelievable. So great call out there from Arthur. Nice hit. As far as our stream results, we went 1-2. We were able to cash the Pittsburgh spread versus Clemson. We talked about Clemson going 0-7 on the spread. They sure did. Another bad performance from Clemson. Really no surprises there. They just do not have a great team this year. Well, they have a lot of talent. Just their quarterback play has been atrocious. Be careful with that this week, though. I think they have an opportunity to cover versus Florida State, so I stayed away from that game. I don't want to get in on that. As far as our losses, we missed on Virginia Tech Syracuse under. We had under 46.5. There was a ton of points scored in this game, over 70. So what can you do? That got out of hand quickly. And then we had Purdue covering the spread there versus Wisconsin. That didn't come in either. Too many turnovers for Purdue. They turned the ball over 5 times. That's not going to get it done. It's the great equalizer. Game was tied at halftime at 13. Purdue was looking pretty solid, and then they just started turning the ball over right and left. It was really disgusting. But what can you do? We're going to get after it today, though. We're going to get that 3-0. So let's get into our picks. At number 1, we're going with the Michigan State Spartans plus 4.5 spread here versus the Michigan Wolverines at minus 114 odds. So I'm going to use this word that I use sometimes. This is what I call a speculative play, right? So there isn't a lot of reasons as far as you look down the statistical rankings for both these teams. You're going to find that Michigan ranks higher in a lot of categories. Defense, offense, not a lot higher, but higher. Michigan ranks second. Overall in scoring defense, Michigan State ranks 20th. Michigan ranks 16th in scoring offense. Michigan State ranks 29th. But I think this is one of those games for Jim Harbaugh, right? He's on the road playing a top 10 team. He has never beaten a team on the road in the top 10. It has not happened yet. He does have a couple wins in the top 10 at home, but not on the road. He has not done it on the road. So he does not have great history versus great teams. Michigan State here coming in, the 8th ranked team in the land. And they are led by Peyton Thorne and Kenneth Walker, who are 2 phenomenal players, and Jaden Reed actually on the outside there. Michigan State actually has a lot of offense, a lot of talent on offense. Peyton Thorne ranks 17th in quarterback efficiency this year, pass efficiency. It's very good. Kenneth Walker and Jaden Reed. Kenneth Walker, the running back for Michigan State. Jaden Reed, the wide receiver for Michigan State. 6th and 7th in the nation in yards per game average. That's very good, obviously. So I love that. They have some studs on the offensive side of the ball. They play solid defense there with Mel Tucker as their coach. They're very, very well coached, in my opinion. I think he's done a phenomenal job with this team. 7-0. I've bet a few times on Michigan State this year, and I've been very pleased. They've been very good, very profitable this season. And on the Michigan side, this is the other area of weakness that I was looking at that I really thought about even before I looked up the stats. I kind of had an idea of where these quarterbacks were at. Cade McNamara ranks 69th in pass efficiency. So Michigan wants to get you on the ground game, but I think they're going to need to throw the ball a little bit in this game, especially going up against that high-powered offense there in Michigan State. And I think if Michigan gets behind, it could be really scary because I do not trust the passing game of Michigan at all. On the flip side, I think Michigan State could do both. I have confidence in Kenneth Walker, and I have confidence in Peyton Thorne. Like I said, he's in the top 20 for pass efficiency. I love that. I think he's done a phenomenal job. And like I said, Mel Tucker's done a phenomenal job as well. So I expect Michigan State to definitely cover this spread. We're talking about plus points, too, not even having to win anyway. I definitely think they cover. I really think they win, too. But I'm going to take the spread here. Take it there for your number one pick. Michigan State plus 4.5 spread here versus the Michigan Wolverines at minus 114 odds. Okay, and at number 2, we're going with the Purdue Boilermakers plus 7.5 spread here versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers at minus 110 odds. So yes, I'm going back to Purdue on the plus spread here. They burned me last week, but I think they get it this week, guys. I thought they would get it last week, and honestly, they turned the ball over 5 times last week, right, versus Wisconsin. And you just can't do that and win games. It just doesn't equate. So to me, they just gave the game away. It wasn't a question of how good their actual team is. You make a few mistakes, it could cost you a game. That's the great equalizer in football, but it doesn't necessarily say what you're going to do next game. I don't see them turning the ball over 5 times here against Nebraska. I think, like to see a little bit more conservative play calling. If that's the issue, run the ball a little more. Don't put your quarterback in harm's way through 3 picks. They lost 2 fumbles. It was just an ugly game. But overall, Purdue, guys, has a special defense. They do. They rank 9th in scoring defense, 12th in total defense, and they did not play well at all last week. They got ran all over by Wisconsin. Granted, Wisconsin didn't throw the ball at all against them, but they didn't need to. They ran all over them on the ground. Like I said, the turnovers didn't help. Put them in bad position. Kept putting them on the field, too. Your defense gets tired. That's just the way football works. You can't keep doing that. Your defense gets more and more tired as the game goes. So, obviously, that was not good. But I expect a rebound here, especially against a Nebraska team that you just can't trust. Nebraska so far on the season has a losing record, a 3-4. Granted, or 3-5 rather. Granted, they've played tough with a lot of great teams. They really have. If you look at their schedule, they've had one of the most brutal schedules I've ever seen, and they've played a lot of tough games. They have. But they're not a team I'm going to ever trust to cover a 7.5 spread. I took Nebraska a couple weeks ago to cover a 3.5 versus Minnesota, and they couldn't even get that done. And Minnesota, to me, was an inferior team. Even if Purdue is an inferior team here, Nebraska doesn't cover 7.5, right? It's just not logical to me to expect them to cover that amount of points. Like I said, Purdue was coming off a win over Iowa, in which they dominated them 24-7. Then went in and just turned the ball over a lot against Wisconsin. I think if they didn't do that, they would have won that game as well. But what can you do? Overall, Purdue on offense, they rank 72nd in total offense. They're really not that bad. They have a special wide receiver on the outside by the name of David Bell. He's very good. So they have some ability on the offensive side as well. Their defense is their catalyst, though. That's how they win games, is on defense, and I expect it to be that way. If anything else, this game will be close. I don't think Nebraska covers 7.5. So take it there for your number 2 pick. Purdue Boilermakers plus 7.5 spread here versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers at minus 110 odds. Okay, and finally at number 3, we are rolling with the under 50.5 points in the Colorado-Oregon game at minus 112 odds. So far on the season, Colorado ranking 36th in scoring defense, Oregon 46th in scoring defense. So both these teams inside the top 50 in scoring defense. Now I want to look at the offense. Offense, Oregon ranks 32nd in scoring offense. Colorado, 125th. That's pretty bad. Not expecting a lot of points here from Colorado for sure. Colorado games so far this season are 6-1 to this under. Now on the reverse side of that, full disclosure, Oregon is 1-6 to this under. But why do I like the under in this game specifically? I love it mostly because of the pace of play. So far in the season, both of these teams rank in the back half in pace of play. So they don't like to get too much up tempo. Oregon ranks 76th in college football in plays run per game. Colorado ranks 130th in pace. That's dead last. So they run the least amount of plays every game. Colorado's definitely that type of team, especially in this game, that's going to want to grind the ball, run the football, and chew down the clock and not get into any type of a scoring match with Oregon. Now, of course, Oregon, I'm expecting to fully win this game. But Colorado is going to look to slow the pace of the game down for sure. Like I said, 130th. You can't get any better than that as far as we're looking for pace. And both defenses are solid, right? Colorado's defense is actually solid enough to get it done, to keep this game fairly low scoring. I'm not expecting hardly any points from Colorado. But I think they could keep Oregon off the board enough to keep, so we can cash this under. I really do. Oregon's had some matchups with Ohio State and had a couple games that went to overtime where the over probably wouldn't hit. It's one of those things where I just look at it as Colorado could play good enough defense. They keep the pace of the game down. We can cash this under pretty easily. I think 50.5 is just a little too much here. I think to me this is more of a line that looks like 45.5, 42.5, 44.5. Somewhere in there would be like, to me, a 50-50 line. Here, I love the value, 50.5. So take it there for your number 3 pick. Under 50.5 points in the Colorado-Oregon game at minus 112 odds. Okay, and that's going to do it for our picks. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. Also, be sure to check out our community Discord. Great place to connect with our community as well. Other than that, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And, we will catch you next week. Got a lot of great stuff here happening at the channel. I'm really excited about it. Excited to grow this. I've had a lot of fun this year doing all this stuff. So, hope you guys enjoy it as well. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any suggestions for me as well, I'll be glad to hear those as well. Other than that, it's going to do it for me. You all have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you next time. Peace out.